Hello, football fans. Well, the month of December is almost here, and it's time to get a look at things heading into the home stretch of the season. 12 weeks are down. That's 2/3 of the season. There's still 1/3 left to go, and a couple of teams can get in the playoffs this week. But first off, let's look at where things stand. All here on this ESPN app. It's too bright, but anyway. Okay. Also got the Red Wings and Sabres on, and Detroit just scored. Okay. So let's start, of course, with the AFC. Kansas City is on top of the conference. Funny how we all thought that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, that was the thing. The AFC West was supposed to be a knockabout, drag 'em out fight. Instead, the Broncos are a mess. The Raiders are a train wreck. The Chargers are okay, but they're still barely surviving. And the Chiefs are on top again. The more things change, the more things stay the same. So, Kansas City at 9-2 stands on top of the conference. It's second in the AFC. It's the Miami Dolphins, big improvement from last year. 8-3, almost one win shy of matching last year's win total. Tennessee and Baltimore both have 7-4 records, but it's conference record that puts Tennessee at 3 and Baltimore, who's coming off a close borderline second loss at number 4. Miami is tied with Buffalo at 8-3, but Miami beat the Bills earlier this season in the first matchup, so that's why they're the first place team. The Bills are actually number 5, which is the first wild card position. The Bengals and Jets have the last two positions at 7-4, but Cincinnati's victory over the Jets earlier this season puts them at 6, while the Jets are at 7. Still an improvement for New York. The Patriots and Chargers are knocking the door at 6-5, but it's followed by the Colts at 4-7-1 and 4-7 teams. Nobody's been eliminated yet, though early elimination scenario, Houston can be officially done with a loss. Not that they would go anywhere anyway. The NFC, it's kind of cut and dry for the most part. There's no ties in it. In the NFC, the Eagles lead at 10-1. Then it's the Vikings at 9-2. The West leading 49ers at 7-4, and somebody has to be in first place in that tepid NFC South. And right now, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 5-6. Yeah. The wild cards, all East teams. Cowboys 8-3, Giants 7-4, Commanders 7-5. Can you believe it? The entire NFC East could make the playoffs if the season ended right now. Far big improvement from last year, where the first place team finished with 7 wins. Now 7 wins is the bottom of the division. Seattle's in the thick of it at 6-5. Atlanta's 5-7. Detroit's 4-7. We're one of the 4-8 teams. It's the Packers. It's the Packers, Cardinals, Panthers, and Saints. Only difference is the last two teams I just mentioned have the luxury of being in the tepid NFC South, so they're still alive while we're screwed. So is Arizona. So yeah, that's the playoff picture right now. Okay. Now, unlike last year's Week 13 had no teams with the right to earn the right to clinch. Matter of fact, I think the clinching scenarios last year weren't released until Week 14. But this year, two teams can get into playoffs. Let me see if I can get that up right now. Let's see if I can get that up right now. Oh, I got the wrong thing. I have a Reddit account. Finally, I think I had it. I think I started about a few months ago. But yeah. 2 teams can actually get into postseason. So, but yeah, here's the link. NFL playoff scenarios .com. It's crazy. But anyway, okay. So Philly 10-1, leading the NFC, leading the whole league. Actually, they became the first team to get to 10 wins. But yeah, Philly. It's heading in December, and they could get the spot in the playoffs. It's a big improvement for the Eagles this year, because remember, the Eagles got the last spot on the final week, but that was their first full year with Jalen Hurts starting at quarterback. I gotta turn that off. I apologize. That's my I have an ESPN app on my. Actually, I have the ESPN app on my tablet and on my phone, but the notifications keep going off, so I apologize for that. So anyway, like I said, Philly 10-1, lead the conference. They have a 2-game lead over the Cowboys in the NFC East. They can't clinch that quite yet, but they probably can by I'm gonna say week 14, 15, because it's still kind of close. But they can get a playoff spot, one of seven in the conference. Again, I have to remind you, because these are first scenarios. This is the third season where 7 playoff teams per conference are permitted, totaling 14 in all. Of course, the number 1 seed is the only first round bye spot, a change from the format between 1990 and 2019, where the top 2 seeds got by straight to the divisional playoff, but it's just the number 1 seed. It's been that way since 2020. But yeah, so Philly, how can Philly get in? Okay, Philly can get in with a win, a Washington loss, a Seattle loss, and a San Francisco loss or tie. Or a win, a Washington loss, a Seattle tie, and a San Francisco loss will do it. Or a win, a Washington tie, a Seattle loss, and a San Francisco loss. Either of these 3 combinations will do it, so it should make for some very interesting scoreboard watching. The Eagles are at home against the Tennessee Titans. Washington faces the Giants. Seattle heads to LA to face the dying on life support Rams. Yeah, I still can't believe it. As bad as we're doing, we have a better record than the Rams somehow. And the Niners are at home against Miami. So that's four different games, 4 different scenarios. But Philly can lock in that spot early. Okay, and the other team that can get into playoffs, the Vikings. Yeah, Vikings 9-2, second in the conference, leading the NFC North by too many games. That division's over. Now, Minnesota earned the right to be able to clinch this week when they won on Thanksgiving. So with that, with that they've earned this scenario. With the win, they eliminated the Bears for division title contention. A win will not only put us out of our division misery. A win and a Detroit loss or tie will do it. Or if they tie, Detroit has to lose. Minnesota hosts the New York Jets this week, and Detroit is at home. They're facing Jacksonville. That could be a toss-up. Jacksonville could beat them. So I kind of do expect Minnesota to lock that division up. I kind of expect them to lock that division up this week. I'd be very surprised if they need another week. So yeah, those are the only scenarios. Nobody in the AFC could clinch. As I said before, Houston can be eliminated with a loss, and I mentioned the Bears. The Bears can be eliminated with a loss, and sorry, I'm stuttering. The Bears could be eliminated completely with a loss, and either a Seattle win or Giants Commanders ends tied. So even though the Packers are screwed, we can still stick it to the Bears. Oh, beautiful. So anyway, those are the 2 scenarios entering Week 13, which starts tomorrow. Every game connected to the playoff scenarios is played on Sunday. There's no early start tomorrow, or nobody has to wait till Monday to do some scoreboard watching. So anyway, that's it for this week's video. Of course, next Wednesday I'll bring some playoff news for week 14. Get you ready for that. And I'll be back on YouTube to recap week 13. So if you like this video, click the like button, click subscribe if you want more. My story about the playoff picture entering this week, it'll be in the description below. Check it out when you can, and stay tuned for more.